We're back, and the gang's all here. Sphinx City is a modern and magical metropolis where the BBG is capitalism. Greedy CEOs, corrupt officials, and evil corporations beware because our heroes are on the case. The dwarven chef fighter who married into the mob, Belkor the Butcher Ironbelly, played by Dale Daniels Jr. The goblin monk artificer with a robotic dog that turns into a rocket-powered skateboard, Jaster Fixadet, played by Taylor Hellstrom. The Goliath sorcerer, former assassin and father that's been called out of retirement, John the Painter Smith, played by Daniel Hargrove. The kobold college dropout, alchemist, and street seller of pharmaceuticals, Tint, the TNT, played by Malia Deza. And the dungeon master is none other than Justin Galliani. The 1% may have money, resources, and influence, but they're about to get 99% of their asses kicked. So get the f*** on the subway and let's get started, baby. Hey gang, and welcome back to another episode of Sphinx City Season 2. I'm Justin, I use they, them pronouns, and I'll be your dungeon master for the rest of this series and hopefully future series if they keep me on. Big Milk is working tirelessly behind the scenes to remove me
Don't make me do the outro
position.
like at the beginning.
Taylor, I'm talking to the people. Stand behind me and I'll stand behind you. Okay, and we're back. Let's go around and do some introductions. Introduce yourself, and where people can find you and who you're playing. And let's do it alphabetically, I guess.
Why not?
I'm Dale. I play Belkor Ironbelly, a dwarf fighter that is not doing too good at the moment.
Hello everyone, I'm Daniel, aka Daniel the DM, across all corners of the internet, and today, as usual, I will be playing John Smith, also known as the Painter. And I'm running real low on spell slots. We're about to start slinging cantrips in a second. It's about to be a long final act.
I'm Malia Deza. You can find me online. Malia Deza, most things. And today I'll be playing Tint, the little college dropout who has not had a long rest in now like 3 combats because he substituted a good night's sleep for an energy drink. And so he's really not doing well. We've been slinging cantrips for a while, but he has dragon breath now, so he is rip-roaring ready to go.
And I'm Taylor. I work with Justin on the So You Want to Be a DM podcast. You can find us pretty much everywhere at So You Want to Be a DM. Our podcast is called So You Want to Be a Dungeon Master. And I will be playing Jaster Fixadet. I am a little gobbo boy, and I'm doing a little bit better than the rest of the crew because I'm hidden in a bush right now. But the fists are about to start flying here on this next round of combat. I'm really excited.
Incredible. Then let's waste no time. The recap is as such. Our heroes went into a florist shop, and now they're fighting for their lives. Go back and watch the last episode for the full recap. Now, let's get into this goddamn combat. I'm not joking. Let's waste no time. I just made the executive decision.
I love it. That's the best recap ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go watch the last episode.
That's the
Previously
recap.
on Better Call Saul, watch the last episode.
Could you imagine? Okay, well, we kick off at the very start of the round inside of this Fey-like garden that is actually inside of a greenhouse in Sphinx City of all places. This shouldn't even exist here. There's no space for it. It is one of those weird, magical, interdimensional sort of spaces, pocket dimensions and such. And our heroes, 4 members of No One, a secret international organization, as well as members of gangs and assassins guilds and a workers union, I think, Jaster, maybe a fixers union, maybe.
Sure.
Possibly. Yeah, that makes sense.
Sure,
maybe.
yeah. We'll go for it.
Skateboarders of America. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. The world's first skateboarders union.
Hell yeah. The motto is just send it. That group is fighting against Dominic Infierno, a strange fire giant, leader of The Gray Gardeners seems to have some kind of harness over both fire and cold. And at the top of the initiative, a lair action fires off. You hear crashes of thunder from above you as rapidly these dark, hanging rain clouds appear as bolts of lightning shoot down, thunderclaps echo throughout the garden, and it begins to rain. And as the water deluges, I think is the right word, down upon you all. I don't know if deluge might be a noun.
It's a noun.
Wow. Imagine that. The deluge of rain that comes down is incredible. and and you see the two doom creepers, these strange spider-like flowers, massive like rose heads, but with an eyeball in the middle that's been firing out these massive purple beams of energy that do terrifying things. As the rain hits them, you see them bulk up. Not like their injuries are being healed or anything like that. They're definitely not regaining hit points. It just seems like they are stronger in some way, shape, or form. It's like what is water for plants if not steroids? So that is kind of what's happening here. And it's the electrolytes, probably.
Brave.
But after that happens, Belkor, it is your turn. With
All right,
John
I'm
on
still
deck.
incapacitated, correct?
You have to make a save.
are, but you get a save again in the very beginning of your turn. It is a intelligence saving throw.
Hey, we're starting things off pretty nicely. A dirty 20. So
Nice.
it's 19.
Incredible. That is absolutely enough. So luckily that happens at the start of your turn, so you still have your whole turn ahead of you.
Fantastic. All right, I am going to cast Firebolt.
Oh, hell yeah. On which one?
Red one here.
Red one. Roger that. Roll to attack.
That one not so good. That is 13.
13, unfortunately, is not enough.
Damn. So since I have two actions per turn, I can do another one or no?
Unfortunately not, because it's casting a spell.
Cantrip. Yeah, that's right. Ugh. All right.
I don't know if you've action surged yet. Not that you have to use it right now, obviously, but
I am actually going to go for second wind.
okay, awesome. Heal yourself up a little bit. Incredible.
Right.
Belkor
Dice.
steals himself and some life force.
Okay.
Past generations of chefs bestow their energy upon you.
Let's see. That's healing for 12. Like, like just a.
Hell yeah. Just a solid deep breath.
Wow.
Amazing.
Hit him with the wah.
And John, that is your turn.
Oh boy, yeah. I'm sitting there in the back of the club, yeah. So I'm gonna stay where I am, and I'm going to throw a firebolt, not a firebolt, a sorceress best at which one looks the weakest of the flies, mosquito, spider, plant things.
Probably, definitely red.
All right, then I'll take a shot at the red one.
Okay, roger that.
That is not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I rolled an advantage and I rolled a 1 and a 3. So that's gonna be for a total of, even with a +9, that's a 12.
Oh, unfortunately, that is not
Rough.
enough.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long
the
one.
Doom Creeper's turn. It's the Doom Creeper's turn. And they are going to make some attacks. It's one hit on Tint and one on Belkor.
What'd you
Are
roll?
you sure?
I rolled higher than your AC. I can promise you that.
But here's the thing. How hot? Much higher.
In the 20s,
Okay, never mind then.
I will tell you. I know why you're asking. I'm not gonna tell you the exact number I roll.
Okay.
Sometimes you just have to take the gamble, but you don't have to use it this time because it is much higher. Tint, you take 10 points of damage. Belkor, you take 9 points of damage as these doom creepers like lash out at you with these thorny tentacle vines. And Jaster, that is your turn with Tint on deck.
Oh man. Okay, so
So you're hidden.
I'm hidden. I'm going to, before my turn, tell me two for to just move up there, and he's gonna take the dodge action and just chill.
Okay.
But now, I'm going to like use this little mushroom thing as like a springboard.
Okay.
Jump up and take my staff and start spinning in the air and just like a giant spin thing, and I'm going to hit him as many freaking times as I can.
Amazing. You in your small goblin monk form hop onto this massive sunflower, the stalk so strong and powerful and yet limber as it kind of falls under your weight and then catapults you like a fucking trebuchet across towards this fire giant as you become a spinning thing.
Okay. First one's at advantage, right? Because I am still hidden.
1,000,000%.
Definitely. So 17 on the die plus a billion. Not really a billion. Plus.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. Attack number 1. We'll go attack number 2. Yikes. 13.
13 will miss.
Okay. Key point to do flurry of blows as well.
Incredible.
We'll keep using this one.
And you're
It's
level
going
5, correct?
Mm-hmm. So that was my 2 normal attacks, and now I'm going in for flurry of blows.
Don't you also get stunning strike at level 5?
I do, but I don't.
You don't have to use it.
I don't have a whole lot of key. I don't want to burn it all.
No doubt. Yeah. No, I was just checking.
And I imagine his save on that is going to be
his con
decent.
is a giant as a giant would be.
Yeah.
No, I was just asking for me.
I do have stunning strike. How about a 15?
That'll hit.
Okay, cool. That's 3 and another 13.
A 13 still won't hit, unfortunately.
2 attacks hit out of the 4. That doesn't feel great, but whatever. What are you going to do? 18 damage.
18 damage. Okay. Incredible. You come spinning down, slam into him twice, and land next to him as he has this massive chainsaw and turns around, and in your face practically because of the height differential is the spinning blade of this magical looking chainsaw as just like in your face as he sees you, and he just goes, "You're gonna regret that, little guy."
We'll see.
I know we will. That's what I just said.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see who regrets what.
You're a wise guy. I get that. Start fighting. Okay. Tint, that is your turn.
All right. Tint's just gonna rear back and release a dragon's breath of cold at little blue spider flower creepy thing.
Yes.
So it can make a dex saving throw.
Fail.
Going to take 3d6, 13 points of cold damage.
Incredible. It is technically 1 hit point below bloodied, but it is getting there.
It's Tint's turn.
Amazing. Tint. It is now Dominic Infierno's turn, who is going to turn towards this little guy who thinks, oh, he's a wise guy. We'll see, he says over and over. We'll see about this freaking chainsaw. 2 chainsaw attacks. Bold.
Yeah, because I think an 18 misses. And I know a nat 1 misses. So that's Dominic Infierno's turn.
All right.
Wild. Hey, you stop moving so fast. This chainsaw's heavy. Come on. That brings us back to the top with another lair action as the rain ceases and stops. The Doom Creepers weaken slightly. Pretty much their attacks just had an extra +1 to them. Small canisters begin to open up from the ground in some of the green areas. Does Twofer have anything specific in regards of poison or breathing in poison or something like that? Because pretty much what happens is sprinklers pop up in the ground and begin to spray pesticide. And so I need...
He is immune to poison.
Immune to poison, good to know. Twofer's fine. I need Belkor and Tint to make Constitution saving throws.
23.
Nice.
Incredible. And Belkor, you can actually make this with advantage because you're a dwarf.
Yes, I've got poison resistance.
Do
Oh, that's
Tint's goggles
much
and his
better.
oven mitts do anything?
I think a 23 is enough for you. I think
18
you're fine.
instead.
Say again, Dale.
18 instead.
18 is definitely enough. Well, Belkor, you're a dwarf, so even though you take the poison, you take half poison damage because you succeeded, and then it halves again. So you actually end up only taking 1 point of poison damage. Tint, you take 2 points of poison damage.
Oh, man. That's rough.
So just a little bit of the
Trying to-
pesticide is poisonous. It irritates the skin.
Just scrub it off my goggles.
Yeah, scrub it into the scratch marks from the poison ivy. Everything is
And-
blending. It's great.
Yeah.
Um,
And the poop monsters.
poop-
We can't forget the pelt monsters.
And there were poop monsters. Wow. It's been a day.
A week. It's been a week.
Yeah.
It's been a
It's
week.
been a whole
Belkor.
week since the last time.
I meant for your characters, but yeah, no,
Right.
this
Yeah.
episode, it's been a whole week. Belkor, that is your turn with John on deck.
All right. Let's get back to the basics of usual cleaver attack. Does a 19 hit?
It absolutely does. You going for red?
Yes.
Sick.
Does a 17 hit?
Yes.
Does a 9 hit?
No, unfortunately not.
All right. So let's see here. So that's 10 on the first attack, and then
Okay.
that is sorry, more math. 9 on the next attack. So a total of 19 damage.
Okay, here's what's going to happen. Because the first attack would have taken this guy out.
Nice.
Oh, no.
Huzzah!
So then, I mean, you haven't moved at all. So you have enough movement to go over to blue and do that second attack. And I'll just do the 9 damage onto him.
I think I'll do that for sure.
Incredible. Yeah, so you managed to slash this one, and just like cutting a big head of Napa cabbage that you're planning on making some kimchi with, right down the center perfectly. You feel the layers getting tighter and tighter, closer to the heart of this heart of palm kind of vibes, and you separate it, rush over around Tint to the other. You're young. I mean, no one has said it. It's not official or anything, but kind of like a mentee in Tint, newest member of the gang, technically. Not just your gang as no one here in this fight, but also of the Silver Scales. And another huge slash at this blue one. It is looking pretty hurt, but I wouldn't necessarily say death's door. And John, that brings us to you.
Okay, so John is going to move here. He's gonna teleport with his
Okay.
bonus action, and then he is going to
Incredible.
go here so that he can take a sorceress burst shot at Inferno,
Okay.
and he's going to make the element fire.
Bold.
All right. Does a 28 hit him?
It certainly does.
Gotcha.
By a lot.
That's 17 points of fire damage.
Okay. I'm sensing a shenanigan coming my way, but I will say he is immune to fire damage.
Immune? Fully
Uh-huh.
immune or resistant?
Immune.
Okay, gotcha. All right, that's all I was checking.
Okay. I was ready for something that was like, well, with this thing I have, this feat.
No.
Actually. Okay, but yeah, you take one for the team and learn for a fact that he is definitely immune to fire. And you have also seen the flame blasts, those like double helix with the cold and fire coming together. Doing cold damage would be a risk as well. Whether he's
Gotcha.
resistant or immune, I won't say because you haven't done that. But
So yeah, I'll relay that to the team. Don't use fire and ice. But yeah,
incredible.
that's my turn.
Okay.
Use these fists.
Goes to the Doom Creeper again. We will. I roll odd. I'm gonna hit that dog. Ooh, that's a nat 1. I am gonna hit the dog. One of the attacks.
He's using
then-
a dodge action, so it's just advantage.
Incredible. Advantage. I'll do that. Miss.
What do you have against dogs?
Dog. Wait, hold on. This is crazy. I rolled odds or evens to see if I hit the dog, right? And I rolled a nat 1. Unlucky for the dog. Then I have to roll disadvantage twice in a row because 2 attacks. And I rolled a nat 1 twice in both of them. So
Yeah.
3 nat 1s in a row.
Stop. This is
Yeah,
your
keep
lesson.
using that
Stop
dice.
fucking hitting my
Keep
dog.
using it. This is great.
I'm trying to hit my dog, bro.
// Twofer easily moves out of the way.
In a very uncanny valley Boston Dynamics dog type of way, you know.
Very
doesn't look-
unsettling.
Should move that way, but it can.
More dexterous than you want from your robots.
Right. Right.
And with that, Jaster, that is your turn with Tint on deck.
Okay. Twofer's just gonna chill right there.
Amazing.
And I'm going to continue to try to beat this guy up. I'm going to roll my first attack. 23, 22.
That'll hit.
Okay, I'm going to have this and try to get him to go prone.
Okay, cool.
It's going to be 5 damage.
He gets a 13 on strength save.
Oh, I think that meets it. Let me find. Yeah, it's a 13.
Ooh. Yeah, unfortunately, he managed to stay on his feet.
Okay, that's fine. Then I'm just going to continue to open up on him and not worry about it.
All right. Me?
Second, oh, wait, oh no, I've got 3 more hits.
Okay. Just kidding.
First one's a 19 on the die. Second
That'll
one,
do it.
18 on the die. Last
That'll do it.
one. Come on, give me that 20. Give me that 20.
Give me something
No,
good.
that's a 19 total.
That'll do it. So 3 more hits. This is giving Yoda versus Palpatine vibes a little bit. Except
Yeah.
instead
There
of,
is a lot of
a lot of
that.
jumping.
There's a
instead
lot of
of-
that.
yeah, it's a lot of
Absolutely.
jumping. But
Absolutely.
it's like if that fight Palpatine was from the original 3 movies as opposed to the prequels. So he's not jumping around a lot. He's kind of just staying still and being like, lightning. And Yoda's like, "Pew, pew, 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 pew."
Just stay still.
15, 12, 27 damage.
27 damage.
Wait, no. I need to add a 6 to that. 27, 33 damage.
33 damage.
I hit with every single attack. That's awesome.
Amazing. Dominic
No,
Infierno is bloodied.
Love to see it.
Jaster, anything else? Movement or anything?
No, I'm just gonna stay right here, right up in
Incredible.
his grill, so to speak.
Yeah, certainly taking all of his attention for the most part. I can't. front on that. And Tint, that is your turn.
All right. So with Tint's current breath weapon, can he like scoot forward and release the cone so it doesn't hit his two friends?
Okay.
Like,
Here's what I'll say.
mm-hmm.
You can try. And what we'll do is we'll leave it up to an acrobatics or athletics check from you.
Mhm.
Your choice. And if you hit a 12, then you can easily poke your head through these two allies and not hit them.
But this is an ability check, right? So Tint's exhaustion.
Technically,
Okay.
yes.
Then Tint's not risking that.
Hop on my shoulders.
Nope. He's gonna chug one of his Misty Step potions.
Okay.
His explosive Misty Step. And he's gonna Misty Step to here.
Bold.
Whoa.
Bold.
Just gonna get out of there. So I think it's it's acid splash as he chugs ectoplasm and shadow wisp.
Are you
And,
still
yeah.
dealing acid damage on?
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up.
Oh, I
Yeah,
forgot
yeah.
about that.
2d4 at the start of Dom's turn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Forgot about that. Yes, I am. Well, he might take more. So he needs to do a dex save as I explode next to him.
It's a 15.
I have my arcane. So no, it does not pass. It's a 16.
Oh, amazing.
I think I messed that up last time. That I forgot about an arcane thing. Now we modeled this after acid splash, which is a cantrip. So does the potion also level up with me, or is it just like the basic?
No, it would level up. It would be your 5th level cantrip equivalent of damage and stuff.
5
Yeah, hell
points
yeah.
of acid damage as I explode right next to him.
Sick. 5 points of acid damage, and then roll 2d4 that he would have taken at the start of his turn,
All right.
where he missed twice on Jaster.
I rolled 2 once.
2 more damage.
2 more acid damage. And it looks like he's taking acid damage.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, good to go.
And I'm guessing using that, drinking the potion is my turn. So, or is my action.
Yeah, it's your action.
Like drinking it and Misty stepping would be like my action bonus. So,
Yeah.
Tint's done.
Feels right. Incredible. After Tint, Dominic Infierno, roll 2d4 again for more acid damage. As he is incredibly frustrated by Jaster. There, you see him wanting to have some tete-a-tete with John Smith. But this fucking goblin and all these damn flips and acrobatics and shit.
These little people.
He's just like, actually, I have a ton of history with that fucking guy, but
Wow.
you fucking piece of shit. He's just going for you. It's getting so frustrated.
But he still hasn't scraped off that acid, so it's 7 points of acid damage.
7 points of acid damage.
The world's worst chemical burn.
That's gonna hit
Himst.
you.
Me?
Yeah,
Me?
he's going
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Why?
He's going for you. So that hits. First
Is he
attack hits.
upset?
Sure. Well.
Furious. He said
You know-
said as much. Are you guys paying attention? He's furious.
Yeah. All right. That's I'm gonna shield that for sure.
Okay. Shield does work on that first attack. It was a 21 total. Your shield puts you at what, 25? Jeez.
Yeah.
That will go through. That's literally that's exactly a 25.
Okay. Fine.
Gotta hit with his big chainsaw at least once, right?
Sure. I mean, I guess.
For 87 fire ice damage.
That's 16 piercing, or slashing rather. And And then it is going to be 4 fire damage and 3 cold damage. And that's 1 attack. And then, oh no, the first one he missed because of the shield.
Attack. Yeah.
Then that is his turn. Brings us back to the top. Lair action. All that happens is obviously the pesticides are done going through and everything like that. And the artificial lighting that makes it appear like the sun is out and it is like constantly noon and there's like time of no shadows goes out and it enters a night cycle. And so you all find yourselves in darkness.
Okay, but I have dark vision.
Then you're good to go.
Easy as that.
Wow.
It's easy as that. I was trying to think of florist-based lair actions. You know what I mean? Anyway,
I love this.
Belkor, that is your turn with John on deck.
Oh boy.
Usual thing.
Bring it on. Come on.
Let's see. Does a hit?
Does a what hit?
A 23 hit?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What about a 14?
14 does hit. It's exactly what you need.
And for the dagger, there's my first nat 1 for the night.
Ooh.
But that was just for the dagger, so.
You mean
Pass.
your last nat one from that. Okay.
Mhm. You're only.
So that's 10 damage plus max damage, which is another 14. Oh, no, that's not 14.
Jesus.
Shit. No, that's not 14. Sorry. 13. So that's a total of 23 damage.
23, though.
That'll be it for me.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That Doom Creeper is now on death's door. Incredibly close to being taken out. John, that is your turn.
Alrighty, yo. John is going to run and already counted it out, but he is going to run 30 feet and then teleport to up here. So I'm going to be right there. So you've been looking for me. And then I am going to cast Witch Bolt. And again, my Witch Bolt looks like it looks like the Balrog's whip in Lord of the Rings, where it's just this flame whip with electricity shooting out of it. And it's just going to wrap around his neck like a leash. And I'm just going to be pulling it and try to choke him.
Dope as hell. Dope as hell.
Yeah, I only did a flat roll because normally it'd be at advantage, but it'd be disadvantage because of the darkness.
Roger that.
So I just did a flat roll and got a 24 to hit.
Good to go. Yeah, that'll absolutely hit.
So it should be 12 points of lightning damage.
Whoa. Looking pretty freaking hurt. Pretty freaking hurt. As he is wrapped up with this electrical wires connecting him to John the Painter Smith, painting with a little electricity this time in his
They
palette
think
book.
I only paint in one color. That's my trick. I don't just know fire.
That's how he gets you.
That's how I murder people.
He gets you. And he begins the blue tattoos that cover his face and arms. They're like a glowing ice from the lower chunk of an iceberg. And yet they begin to, in this moment, as he is getting closer and closer to death,
Let's
They
he take
begin
6
to-
more points of acid damage.
it's not his turn yet, but he
sorry.
will. No, it's good.
I thought.
No, I'm just building up for something if it gets back to
Okay.
his turn, which it may not. But they begin to turn first like a whitish color, and then yellow, and then orange, and then become this deep red, and it starts to look like veins of magma piercing through his skin, spidering across it, as just the area around him, mechanically it does nothing, but for the people standing within 10 feet of him, an intense heat wave begins to pop off of him as he looks like he is summoning something or someone and his final moments, and he's beginning to attempt that process. But it's not his turn yet. After John, it goes to the Doom Creeper. That will miss, and then
Who are you attacking?
I did one attack with disadvantage on
Okay.
Twofer and missed, and then an attack on Belkor, and that
With
is a
disadvantage
20.
because he's got a reaction to do that.
Okay, then it's just a 22.
That's so diabolical.
I love him so much.
But what if he just didn't?
Belkor,
Did you consider that?
Totally.
8 points of piercing damage from another slash attack from the Doom Creeper, which brings us to Jaster's turn with Tint
Yeah,
on
it's-
deck.
Totally worth the 3-level dip into Artificer for just that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's finish this. Jaster's doing his little Yoda thing, beating the guy up. Yeah, and I'm gonna move here for flanking. And
Okay.
once again, we are going full bore.
Naturally.
Nat 20 on the first hit.
Nice.
Second hit.
Does not bode well.
16 on the die.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Yeah. Another nat 20.
Yes.
It's over.
Oh yeah.
It's over, I'm pretty sure.
Last one does a 19 hit.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Wait, that was two nat 20s.
Mm-hmm. One was on the flurry of blows, one was on your...
Yeah, okay.
Got me making the Jack Nicholson face. Yes.
Plus 24, 48.
48? Woof. Well, okay, yeah. Describe how you take him down.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Hell
So
yeah.
Jaster kind of gets into this flow of dealing with the bigger guy, that basically he starts like blurring out a little bit, starts moving so fast that he kind of just blurs a little bit and gets over into the blind side. And then it's just like there's a hit on the back of the knee. And then he does like another little blur thing, hits him on the back of the head to kind of get his head to come down, does another blur, hits him on the back of the other knee.
And he's still
And
being
then-
strangled.
Yeah, and he's still being strangled. And then finally smack him right in the jaw. I am trying to not kill him. I want to take him alive.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be non-lethal, but the final hit is just going to be like he blurs away. He just kind of throws his staff to the side, sees his opening, runs up, and just hits him with this massive uppercut as he's got him on the ground, like ready to go. And then the guy just does like a backflip and lands on his back.
Incredible. As this like 16, 17 foot tall firestorm giant gets catapulted up in the air and falls onto his back, the pavement underneath cracking slightly from his heavy weight. I mean, that's incredible. That was 4 huge attacks. Dominic Inferno is unconscious and taken out. Tint, it is your turn. The only thing remaining is a singular Doom Creeper. That is...
Yeah.
You no longer have Dragon's Breath, by the way, because I was concentrating on
Oh, gotcha. Mm-hmm.
And I'll
No
drop
worries.
my Witch Bolt once he goes unconscious.
Yeah, I'm just gonna might as well use my last spell slot, right? Why leave this fight with any spell slots left? I'm gonna use catapult, and I'm gonna throw this rock over here into the plant. As long as it is within 1 to 5 pounds.
I'm sure you
Assume
can
it is.
find a rock that... Yeah, that works out.
It's all 5.5 pounds. Why, God?
Damn,
Why, God?
over there shaving off part of the rock.
Everything here is in metrics. It says 3.5 kilograms. Does that count? What is that?
So yeah, I'm gonna catapult the rock. If it can make a dex save.
Fail.
Fail. It's going to take 3d8.
Amazing.
Oh my god, where's my d8? 2 6s, 3 6s. That's
Jesus. 18.
18. This is a devil worshipping game after all. 18 points of damage, yeah. That's the...
Amazing. Tint, describe to us how Tint flings a rock so hard that it brains this eye plant monster.
Tint scans the ground for a rock that is like 4.9 pounds. And because he is so smart, he finds one. And then he just points at it and says, "Yeet." And it's
Amazing. And it flings around, cutting through the center of this plant monster and just coming out of the eyeball on the other side. And it falls to the ground dead. And we are out of combat, folks. We have successfully taken out the higher authorities of the Grey Gardeners, stopped an evil gang that was doing bad things in this city, and also partnering up with some very powerful people to continue their influence and power and control. We have done right by a different rival but good gang that we've all agreed is good. Silver Scales. They're good guys. Even though they do some things, they're not by the book, but hey, not all laws are good laws. Moving on.
Send their regards.
And we have captured Dominic and Infierno. What are you all doing in this moment?
I think I immediately jump down and we just start binding his legs and his hands separately, and then gag him so he can't cast any spells when he wakes up.
Incredible.
I take off my oven mitts and start leaving poison ivy handprints all across his
Evil.
face.
Truly
Wow.
evil.
But
Truly the most evil of us all.
I guess real quick too, we'll search his body before
Yeah.
we possibly
100%.
wake him up and ask him questions.
Let me get anybody who can make them. You guys are all together and helping each other. You could do advantages, however you want to split it up. But investigation checks, please.
Whoever's got higher than a +1, go for it.
Though
What
Tint
advantage?
does
You
have the
my help?
highest though Tint does have the highest investigation, he's going to step back because he doesn't want to touch everything that everyone else is then going to have
that
to
makes-
touch.
That's a good point.
I'll do the investigation check.
Okay, I'll
Puts his
help
oven
you.
mitts back
Okay.
on. Guys, I think I should just sit this one out.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's a 25.
Oh yeah.
Incredible.
You
Out
found his
of-
birth certificate.
Who carries that on their person?
It's social security. Too.
Oh, he's a Gemini.
Yeah, he's got everything. He's got everything on him.
I'm going to take it all to Emmis and open up a credit card in his
Her
name.
name nice.
Mhm.
You find his cell phone on him.
For sure.
That makes more sense.
And with that high roll, I'll say you're able to get into his phone.
Okay.
His body's right there. You use his thumbprint, his eyeball, whatever it takes to get in. You can get in. It's not an issue. And here are the 3 important texts or emails or information that you're able to gather off of it. First, you find a text that is between Dominic and the name is saved right in his phone, Laura Ka. First name Laura, last name Ka, K-A-A. Laura Ka is texting Dom and says, Plan A is going well, but that test trial is happening this weekend at the event.
And we can assume
And
the
it's-
event is that
The Fey
Carnival.
Festival.
the Fey
Yeah.
Festival.
Yeah, it's dated this week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there a response from him?
He just did that thing where you can hold down on a message and give a thumbs up.
Oh,
So helpful.
Not even the courtesy of responding with like a message
Okay.
of an emoji, just like on the actual.
Reacted thumbs up to your text.
Yeah. And then there's another text between him and Nikki Nightshade.
What is Nikki saved in his phone? Is it just Nikki Nightshade? And what is the profile picture?
In Dom's phone, he's saved as Nikki-employee.
Aw.
Mhm.
Aw.
Mhm.
Well,
No profile picture.
at least I didn't have to find
No.
out this way.
Right.
Yeah. And the text just reads, Mar the Maniac is back in town.
Wait,
She
sorry,
has
this is
some
two-
new stuff.
Oh, is that to Nikki or from Nikki?
2.
From Nikki to Dom.
Oh.
Gotcha.
We have Nikki's phone, right?
Yeah, you have Nikki
Hi.
and Dom's phones unlocked, ready to go. The third text is familiar to specifically Belkor and Jaster for Tint and John without even needing to roll anything, regardless of what's up. Guaranteed, you've never seen a language like this. It makes no sense. It looks like wingdings. Like, it just looks like utter nonsense. A little bit like hieroglyphics, but at least in the hieroglyphics, you don't need to know a lick of ancient Egyptian. You know a bird when you see a bird. You know what I mean? This isn't even like that. It's just like random shapes. Like, they don't even correspond to anything you've seen. And so you see a text in that strange hieroglyphic language that for Jaster and Belkor you've seen before. On Dr. Monotreme's phone, I think was the first time. But you've also, I think you saw it on one of the romance realtors' phones, maybe. I can't remember exactly, but you've seen it once or twice. And I think you even went so far as to bring it to Emmis and have him scan it, and he was able to cast comprehend languages, and even that couldn't get it. This is like, he described it as being like, comprehend languages can give you any language on this planet. This is a language not from this planet.
Ooh.
Dun dun dun.
Alien.
So are we
Okay.
waking him up? Are we killing him in his sleep? What's
I mean, I can try to intimidate him into answering questions.
I mean,
Okay.
I can always threaten him. You know, he doesn't answer questions, and these mitts come off.
Let's see here. I'm going to, before my innate sorcery and all that stuff ends, I'm going to convert my last first level spell slot into a sorcery point. And then I'm going to, as I wake him up, I'm going to cast fear, and I'm going to heighten it so that he has disadvantage on the saving throw. And I know typically it's just supposed to be that he's supposed to like run away, but I just want to use it to be as
Yeah, I'm fine.
terrifying as possible.
What's the saving throw?
DC 17. I think it's, let me
Wiz?
see. Yes.
Okay.
My last third level.
And he gets disadvantage on that.
You're
That is a 20. Dirty, filthy, disgusting.
dang.
Covered in manure and poison ivy.
Not even at disadvantage. Where is Bane when you need it? Okay.
Yeah. Pretty high. But what do you say to try and intimidate him as you cast this spell?
So as I cast fear, my shadow turns from that of a humanoid to slowly just starts growing and growing to the size of a dragon underneath all of us. And then I put my gun in his mouth as he wakes up.
Uh-huh. So, yeah. Wow. Okay, cool. What a description, Daniel. My human form, my shadow grows to that of a dragon. And then I put my fucking gun in his face.
Just to make
What?
sure he understands the
The
program.
juxtaposition.
Bite down on this.
Bite down on this. It'll hurt. less.
Yeah, he starts to quote Fight Club. He's like, "You can only speak in vowels with the gun in your mouth." Amazing. Go ahead and roll intimidation
Oh boy, yeah.
as he comes to, gun in his mouth. Moans and groans a little
That's
bit.
a natural 20. For a total of 28.
He sings like a fucking bird.
Seems like a fucking bird.
Not while the gun's in his mouth.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh!
Here's what I'll say. Yeah, you see him attempting to speak, and you can see in his eyes fear. Not magical fear, just straight up old school fear.
Yeah, so I hit him with the there is no god on any plane of existence that can hide you from me. Tell me everything that we want to know. As I remove my gun from his mouth.
I imagine his hands are tied. All right. Yeah, he says, all right, listen. All right. We don't have to do anything hasty. We can talk this through. I'll tell you what I know. All right. Fuck. Listen, I have a kid too. I get it. So, whatever you need to know. Whatever gets me home.
What are they planning at the festival?
It's fucking shit. Fuck. For some reason, I feel like I should blame Nikki Nightshade. Fuck. Okay. It's AstraZeneca, the pharmaceutical company. They're supposed to be setting up there. They're doing some kind of blind test, some kind of sort of experimental trial for their new product.
What about the shipment? What's coming into town?
What's coming into town?
The text message with
Laura.
Nikki.
yeah,
Nikki.
Laura.
No, that's
Isn't it?
what the event's
Oh
happening
no,
this
Nikki,
weekend.
the maniac.
And Nikki.
Oh,
Maniac.
yeah, the maniac. Sorry, that's what I meant.
Oh, Ma the Maniac. Yeah, she's just a magical weapons dealer.
Justa?
I know her work's renowned. She's an absolute psychopath. But I mean, that's just business.
What new stuff is she bringing?
She's got weird ass weapons, weird guns, doing crazy magical stuff that you've never seen before. Just an absolute mad scientist when it comes to arms dealing. But she's a old apprentice of Garibaldi. So I think while she's in town, she might just be in with her. So just head to the gelato shop if you're looking for weird tech. But yeah, so the Fey Festival, that's where they're supposed to be doing some kind of trial, some kind of test for the next product, some kind of drug, or I don't know the details.
If that fails, what's plan B?
Plan B was to raise an undead army, was to create a zombie army, pretty much using some of the black dahlias that we grow here. And we have special ingredients for the ritual to do that much mass resurrections.
If the backup plan was to have zombies, then is plan A to turn people into zombies? Mind control of some sort?
No. It's to plan A involves it's two parts. One is to fuck, man.
Hey, put your handcuffs back on.
Don't.
Sorry, I didn't want to say anything, but one of them popped off. Sorry about that. Shit.
Don't itch your face, and then your eyes. You're gonna get poison ivy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if I pooped my pants because it smells like shit.
Oh no, that's
smells like
me.
shit here. Oh, that's you.
But if you're itchy, that's also me.
Whoa. Never met somebody just immediately take ownership of a nearby shit smell so fast. That was honestly incredibly brave of you. I'm moved by this. Wow.
You sent shit monsters to attack us. I didn't shit
yeah,
my
sometimes
pants.
the manure becomes alive. It happens in this garden, these gardens. So
I didn't shit myself.
So that plan A. So plan A is two parts.
Mm-hmm.
shit. The first part is creating a gate that can bring an army here. And then the second part is to give them a drug that sort of soups them the fuck up.
Where's that army coming from? Is it an alien army?
I don't know the specifics, but it feels like an alien army, probably.
Like, is that this text message language?
Yeah, pretty much.
Can you read that?
I have to like go back to my office. I have a ledger that has a code.
We're gonna need that ledger.
Yeah, I figured. Fuck. Oh no. I'm ruined. Oh no.
And at least you'll get home to your family.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That's the key takeaway here.
Right, John?
Mm-hmm.
Back to my family. Justin's
Like how
smiling.
you tried to take me away from mine.
That was just business, John. Just like this is. This is just business. I'm telling you everything that I know about what Zusk and fucking AstraZeneca are plotting. I know that head of research and development is behind AstraZeneca's testing. Avanasti, Dr. Avanasti.
Then you'll know from me that you made it personal. And I'll stab him in the throat with my dagger. And I will look him in the eyes as the light fades and never break eye contact.
Incredible.
Oh, and by the way, I think he
Incredible.
said sorry, by the way, and I just tossed his little piece of cloth I still kept after he got incinerated.
Yeah. Amazing. Woof. Incredible. I was hoping that it would go one of two ways. It went that one. Amazing.
Damn it, we needed the ledger.
Oh, we can still
in his
get
office.
it.
It's his office,
Okay.
yeah.
Right. All right. Fair enough.
Does
Yeah,
That's
are
what
there
I was
keys
waiting
on him?
for.
Let me have another round of investigation checks, actually.
For sure.
Ooh.
I'm including the ledger, obviously, but also other stuff just around the garden. Any loot that is
I got a
interesting.
9.
9,
16.
18.
18.
I think Tint accidentally got some more poison ivy on himself, and he got a nat 1.
It's in your eye.
It's in your eye.
It's
in.
under the goggles.
Incredible.
Is there a? Probably not. There's got to be a hose somewhere here, right?
Yeah, you find a hose. You find like a water
It's like
feature.
water fountains.
You there's you guys turn to, you're like, where's Tint? And you turn and you see Tint head first into one of those like cherub statues that's peeing water. Tint's just eyewash like in a chem lab. Just
He made sure though to try and wash the eyes out before he tries to wash the crap off of him, just to make sure.
amazing. Okay. Wow. So, Tint, in our previous episode, you had found those 8 tickets to the Fey Festival, and find more poison ivy this time around. Belkor, you were able to find a bushel of blackberries.
Sweet.
Delicious.
They look different. They have you're looking at them, and when you take you have a small satchel of them, or a little bushel, I suppose, and just as you're carrying it, when they sort of each blackberry rubs together, it creates this static electricity, and they start to almost spark a little bit. I'm gonna say you also find, just because Tint rolled a nat 1, so you find 2 things. Belkor, you also find a pair of high top sneakers. They look kind of retro. High top. They're mostly red and white, a touch of black accenting throughout them. These are called the like mics. And Jaster, you managed to find a small container of pre-workout. It's just called nitroglycerin is the brand name. And then there's like in parentheses, it like underneath that, it's like blow up your veins with power.
Okay.
Well,
John, you end up finding the ledger, as well as in his office, you would also have found on his desk like a family photo that I imagine John would just either completely ignore or like flip down.
It's kind of a emptiness as he looks at it,
Yeah.
and then just keep searching the office.
You also find a interesting item in his office connected to the wall, but you think that it doesn't need to be plugged in, but rather that it was just like charging. You find this interesting little device. It has like an elastic band. It has the look of a heart rate monitor. But you see that on the little device that you would put kind of in the center of your chest, it says hotspot. And with your sorceress origin, you can feel that it is certainly magical, but would require attunement.
I'll put that in my back pocket.
Incredible.
That kind of video game thing of like, how does that even fit in a back pocket? You can't just do that.
Exactly.
Just
Me
put
with
that behind a
Karlak picking up every black powder barrel.
Where you
Yep.
put a barrel.
oh yeah.
But yeah, I think
Logic.
looking, is there security cameras in his office?
No.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so then I guess I'll then rejoin the group, and his weapon's still there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a +1 chainsaw.
I guess we'll pick it up and strip it for parts and figure out how to make a gun and a separate chainsaw from it. I don't know.
Might as
Figure it
well.
Super strong chainsaw. Just have to come out of his back.
out. So yeah, I guess yeah, I'll take the gun parts and I'll figure out what to do with it later.
Amazing.
And then I just look at everyone and go, all right. So, who's all in favor of burning this place down?
Hi.
Me.
We got the ledger, right?
And I pull out the ledger.
All right, cool.
Because if they're going to be needing what's ever in here, we might as well raise
them
it.
have it. Yeah.
Unless there's
There's
any...
grease.
I've got grease.
I have. Oh wait, no. I have a spell slot for that.
Yeah.
I got plenty of fire. Don't worry.
Fair enough.
Let's see here. Is there anything else we should look for in here? As I say, before we go to the festival, we're going to need guns. Lots of guns.
Sweet.
Hell yes.
Mhm.
Whatever they're planning at the festival, if they're talking about an army, if we're able to stop them there, we're going to need all the weapons, magic items, armor we can get
Yeah.
before the festival. We need to be prepared. It's do or die, life or death. All right?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop by my lab for a little while.
I need a nap.
We'll meet back
That's valid.
up at the diner tomorrow.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
meet around, let's say 2. It's been a long day. And then,
Sleep in a little. I like that. I like where your head's at, John.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then
It's good.
we'll meet back up. Who all needs a ride home? Okay.
Amazing.
I start grabbing some tarp that you use to put down soil to put in my car so that Tent doesn't leave poison ivy.
Is there like a
Oh,
trash bag
yes.
nearby? Tint can just like make some armholes in. or some leg holes, and he just like steps in and like cinches
It's
it around
so-
his neck.
It's so like crinkling.
It's giving
Oh my
Bubble
gosh.
Yep.
That's so
like it would
fun.
be really hard to explain to my mom.
Well,
Good
as
luck,
everybody
everybody.
separates after leaving the greenhouse and heads their separate ways for some much needed rest, relaxation, and preparation before tomorrow's shopping trip and then festival. It sounds like all fun for the gang, but we'll see what happens next after this sponsored commercial break from one of our many real and generous sponsors.
Yeah. Okay.
I have DM dysfunction. I have DM dysfunction. I have DM dysfunction. A recent study published by the Bardic College of Lore claims that 69% of dungeon masters suffer from DM dysfunction, or DMD. This condition has more facets than your favorite polyhedral. Some have reported burnout, writer's block, issues with balance, or inner party problems. At So You Want to Be a DM, it's our mission to not only fight the monster-like symptoms of DM dysfunction, but to treat the very cause of it. To do this, we implement auditory technology in the form of the podcast So You Want to Be a Dungeon Master. By listening to the tips and tricks provided by Justin and Taylor, DM dysfunction can become a thing of the past. I've been a listener of the podcast for over 4 months now, and I don't have to worry about DM dysfunction anymore. And I just DM'd my first homebrew world, and I didn't have to worry about DM dysfunction. With all the So You Want to Be a Dungeon Master content that I consume, I'll never have to worry about DM dysfunction ever again. And neither will you. Check out So You Want to Be a Dungeon Master.
You can talk to your doctor today, or you can find So You Want to Be a Dungeon Master anywhere you find podcasts. Listening to too many episodes in a row can cause excessive imagination, lucid dreaming, lactose intolerance, and character death. Sorry, not death, character depth.
And remember, you don't want DMD, you want D&D.
Has your dungeon master ever said no to your shenanigans during a game? Well, with Galliani and Hellstrom, they can't do that. If your DM denies your fever dream interpretation of the rules, then you're gonna want Galliani and Hellstrom in your corner. So just email us at soyouwannabeadm@gmail.com, or you can search for So You Wanna Be a Dungeon Master anywhere you find your podcasts. And remember, if you're not having fun playing D&D, something's, wrong.
And we're back, and the gang's all here. Last we left off, our heroes took down Dominic Infierno, got all of the useful information out of him, and then shanked him in the neck. He is dead in the ground. Our heroes then, if memory serves, because we're sort of not to spend all the time in the florist shop, but burnt it down, I believe was the consensus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just some
100%.
light arson, cover the crime scene.
Hey, it's not on the same plane, so I don't think it counts.
Whoa.
Because
We'll leave
we
that
just
one
find
to
a
the philosophy
crime
majors.
loophole.
We'll leave that one to the philosophy majors. But our heroes split up after all is said and done and make their way to their respective homes to bed down for the evening, get some much needed rest. Belkor, you find yourself in Little Feywild, curled up next to Gwen, your wife. John Smith returning home to your son, who is staying up late, cramming some homework as the weekend quickly approaches. He's excited to go to the Fey Festival. Let's do that really quickly, actually.
Yeah.
As you come home, your son is in the kitchen, sort of kitchen island, and is sitting out there, the lights dimmed, and is doing some math homework.
I think John just actually kind of just like collapses on the floor a bit because like he's pushed his body to the very limit as a sorcerer and used every single ability, resource, racial ability, like everything in one day for the most part. And I
Yeah.
just think he just kind of like collapses. And like, even though it's not like a technical exhaustion, it's just like, yeah, he still pushed everything to the limit. And I think
Yeah.
he's there on the living room floor covered in soot and soil and dried blood.
And so as you sort of collapse, your son sees this and rushes over. Dad, you okay?
Yeah.
Hard day today?
Yeah. Listen, kiddo, I think he just kind of like sits up and like leans up against the couch but isn't sitting in it. And it just is like, I'm not the man that you think I am.
What do you mean, Dad? Am I adopted?
No.
Okay, because we look pretty similar, so that was gonna freak me out.
I lived a really bad life. I did really bad things ever since I was a child. And even though I didn't have a choice to, I got out because I met your mom. And I fought. And I fought as hard as I could to get out. And I took a chance at wanting to have a normal life with you and your mom. And I got that. Even though I didn't deserve it, I got that. And I just miss her. And I'm sorry, I'm not everything you need. I can't replace what's missing. I'm trying to be better. I am.
I miss Mom too. And, it's hard just being the two of us now. But, I mean, I don't know. I sometimes, this might sound silly, but I still feel like Mom's with us. Not really, but sort of. And so that helps. And as for being bad or whatever, I mean, I was bad. Remember in elementary school when I used to get in all those fights. So I get it.
I think underneath undoing his top button, John has underneath a necklace with his wife's wedding ring on it around his neck.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of holds it. Yeah. All you can do is try to be better, right?
Yeah. That's what the guidance counselor said anyway. So
you probably shouldn't go to the festival tomorrow.
What?
Yeah.
Dad, all my friends are going to be there. Plus,
So
I heard that they have gladiator fights. And I wanted to go. That last year, they invited somebody from the crowd to go in and fight the gladiators. And I was like, I'm going to volunteer my dad. Because I tell people at school all the time, I say, my dad could beat up your dad.
Yeah.
I do that. I do that to people.
It's true,
And most
but don't
of the
do
time, I know, but it's hard not to when you know it's true. You know what I mean? Like other kids do it too, and I'm like, you flipping don't even know.
Listen, I'm working with a group of colleagues, people.
Okay.
A weird bunch. And
yeah,
they're helping me we got to the bottom of what happened with this store. And
Oh, okay.
the guys who did that, they were after me. And
But you got him?
yeah, but it doesn't change anything. You know,
Yeah. No, I get that.
and I feel like I could change things if everything I needed to do is done. I could stop right now and walk away. But
Right.
I don't know.
But there's more work to do?
It feels like for the first time I can actually help instead of hurt.
Sounds like you know what you need to do. Now, what does this have to do with me not going to the Fey Festival thing?
Okay.
Because it feels unrelated.
It is, because there's more bad guys. Listen, you can go, but you have to have your location share on. And if anything,
Dad, that's how they get you.
and if anything, because I'm going to be there too, if anything seems fishy, all right?
I let you know.
Exactly. And then I'll
I
let
take a
you
picture
know.
of them and I send it to you.
Yeah. And then you have to go if I see something bad, all right?
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
fine.
Great. All right, now give me 1 second. I gotta bring in this Gatling gun as I open the front door and start to drag in the Gatling gun.
Jesus Christ, Dad. What the hell is that? Sorry, what the heck is that?
It's a long story as I close the door.
And we fade away from there.
I love how the real intended consequence of that conversation was, I need you to be cool about me pulling Gatling gun through the front door.
As I put it on the kitchen table to tinker with overnight.
Amazing. And Jaster heads back to the noodle shop and fight ring. And Tint is dropped off by John at his house. And we have a long rest.
I'll get the door.
Everyone.
Don't touch the door. I'll get the door. I'll let you out.
Tim walks it. Mom, how do you get rid of poison ivy? Hypothetically,
Oh,
of course.
sweetheart. I'll start the oatmeal bath.
Thanks,
That's
Mom.
what you need. You need an oatmeal bath.
I definitely took Tent by Fantasy CVS.
Hell yes. There's
Tint-
a couple.
Go ahead.
No, that's it. There's a couple CVS fantasy
Yeah.
versions.
Waited in line for 6 minutes, just standing there.
Tints.
Tints.
So that was a good fight. Thanks again for the
Yeah.
ride home.
Yeah.
Sorry if I, get your seats dirty.
It's fine to have it cleaned. Does this take tap to pay?
Left my wallet at the house.
Tint definitely though falls asleep in that oatmeal bath.
Incredible.
Hilarious.
You come out smelling like cinnamon and raisins and brown sugar. And everyone gets their spell slots back, recharged. Everything is full hit points, good to go. Level 9. We're dipping into some high level spells. We're getting into some high class abilities. And it's a new day. The plan is to meet up together at the Gastronome, the 24-hour diner in Gnomewitch Village at 2 p.m., give or take. Before then, is there anything anybody wants to do? Talk to contacts, do any research, work on any projects?
Yeah, I definitely want to go to see Emmis. I think at
Amazing.
this point, we have kind of like a shared space almost. Like I've got a key to his little secret hidey hole.
Several keys.
Yeah, it is. There's
He's got
like
multiple
8
locks, so
deadbolts,
you have a
and
whole
they're
key
all-
ring that's
yeah.
just him.
Yeah, that's just for that one door. And so I come in and on one side is all of my artificer tools and stuff like that for like working on different projects. And then Emis is on the other side, just full, like multiple monitors, all these different things, like different cameras and stuff up and everything.
Incredible. As you let yourself into Emis's apartment and workspace, it's like constantly dark in here. The only light is being given off by like blue and purple LED lights, lava lamps, and like strange light fixtures. There's like a neon light sign for like the Sphinx City version of like a Corona with like a parrot. There's just like one of those casting some lights. And you see Emis. For those who haven't met Emis before, Emis is like half elf, probably like 5'8", short hair, has like a cybernetic eye grafted onto his face, has like a couple of tattoos on his arm that look like different USB ports, some biohacking, and has like a tight fade, looks covered in acne, wears like a button-up shirt all the way with some khaki pants. And as you enter in, you see he's like slamming an energy drink into his head, crushes the can, looks at you and is like, "What's going on, man? How's it going?"
Hey,
Shitcoin's down again. Shitcoin is in the shitter again.
I told you this. I literally told you this was going to happen. I told you this was going to happen as soon as we took out the guys a couple months ago.
I know, dude, but you know what? That sounded like a conspiracy theory.
You tried to buy the dip, right?
I tried to buy during the dip, buy low, sell high. That's what I was trying to do. I was looking at the curves.
Well, this one's not coming back up. I'm sorry.
Well, if it does, guess who has $30,000 in shitcoin?
No.
Oh yeah, baby.
So anyway, Emis, we had a run-in with the Grey Gardeners. Got them
really?
Off the street. Yeah, they're toast gonzo. They were trying to make an army of like an undead army type of thing.
Amateur hour. You can't trust the undead.
Yeah. Anyway,
unreliable.
I got these 2 phones off of them. Is there any way that you could look at them and give me like historical GPS data, like where they've been in the past like couple of weeks?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. I can access a couple satellites. Yeah, no problem. Hand them over.
Cool. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go work on this new gun that I got. And I want to do some stuff with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Check it out. All right. I'll take a look at these. He grabs the phones from you. The tattoos that look like USB wires in his hands, he actually like pulls out of his skin and plugs them directly into the phone. And you see like them begin to light up and go down his arm and under his shirt and stuff like that. As his eye starts to like blink and glitch out a little bit. He goes, "Oh, all right. There we go. Yep. Okay." And he starts working on that as Jaster, you go over to check out your gun. What would you like to do with it?
Okay, so first and foremost, I want to cast Identify on the gun itself and the bullets that are there.
Hell yeah.
And just kind of do that ritually so I don't burn through any slots for it.
1,000,000%. So what you have in front of you there is the Chaos Pistol.
Hell yeah.
It is a 6-barreled revolver that has arcane runes etched into the barrel and stuff like that. Operates like a normal pistol in terms of like range and damage and stuff like that. So pretty much just like a longbow. But the biggest difference is every time you fire a round, you roll a d6. And it does different types of damage depending on what you get.
Okay. Is it all elemental type damage?
Pretty much.
Okay.
1 is acid, 2 is fire, 3 is cold, 4 is lightning, 5 is poison, 6 is force.
Now, is there any way for me to say try to load this to where I know which ones I'm going to take, or
Unfortunately, not.
Duplicate these
Because
bullets.
You can duplicate the bullets so that you can reload it and stuff like that, but as the arcane runes will tell you over the time of like the identify spell and stuff like that. Speaking of which, I think we've talked about it in season 1, but what does your identify spell look like?
I think it's mainly technical. He has like a set of arcane like goggles that he puts on that have like the different little like lenses that he can flip through, and they'll kind of like flip through, and as he's looking at all the different stuff, see what's arcane, what's mundane. He has like a little zoom thing on it so he can inspect real close.
Yeah. Amazing, like the Ben Franklin spectacles kind of from that movie. And yeah, the way the arcane runes are written is unfortunately it gives it its chaotic nature, so it is a drawback. The upside is that you're not doing physical damage.
Right.
The downside, you can't control what it is.
All right, but so anytime I shoot it, it's just always going to be a random
D6.
Damage type.
Yeah.
It's going to be random D6. Okay. And just a standard longbow stats.
Yeah, in terms of damage and range and stuff.
And so it is the gun itself that is magical, right? Not the bullets.
Correct.
Okay, would you let me infuse it anyway?
To do
magical?
what?
So give it a +1.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So then, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to work on the gun and improve it to a +1, whilst Amos looks for GPS data and stuff like that.
Okay.
And information.
Sounds good.
on the phones.
Okay. Incredible. We'll come back to that in a second. Is there anything anybody else is trying to do before the 2 p.m. meeting?
I want to talk to the Don about
Incredible.
what happened.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, you head to do you meet him in his like normal place, or do you like invite him anywhere, or?
I think the normal place,
Flavor.
just to,
Okay.
I mean, create tomatoes in the freezer.
Hell yeah. The porcelain tomatoes come up as Belkor descends, and you enter into that meeting place in the basement beneath Osatura, and find yourself meeting with the Don, small pixie man in a pinstripe jacket, little pixie wings, and a fedora. He sits down.
Belkor, my son, how are you doing? How are you faring?
Very fine, Don. I just
Incredible.
wanted to let you know that we don't have to worry about the gardeners anymore. The weeds have been cut.
incredible. Oh, yeah. That's what I like to hear, Belkor. You're a man of integrity. When you set out on a mission, you complete it with expediency and diligence, and I appreciate it. For you, what I would like to do is maybe I'll pay for a vacation for you and Gwen. All expenses paid. Maybe tropical,
I'm honored.
maybe a cruise, whatever you would wish.
Oh my god. Oh, that will be. Oh, I'll have to discuss it with Gwen to see. I mean, where
Of course.
she'd like to go. Thank you so much. That's
Of course.
it's. I'll tell you now, sir. It's going to be well needed.
I believe it. I want you at your best because you continue to be an invaluable part of this family and this organization. How is Tint doing?
Kid's a natural. I'll tell you that much.
Incredible.
When I tell you, like, it was a good choice to add him onto the team. Like,
I'm glad to hear it.
they definitely, I mean, saved my butt a couple times. I'll tell you that too. I mean, like that's how great he is. So he's a very great asset to the family.
That is what I like to hear. All right. Well, Belkor, I am very pleased at this information, this news, and if we have any more needs for your services, I will certainly let you know.
Fantastic. Walk back out, and I'm like, just in my head, I'm thinking like, the places we could go. And then I'm like trying to think, like trying my best not to go specifically to culinary like capitals of the world. It's like, all right, I gotta talk it over with my wife first. But
Amazing. Anybody else?
If Jaster's not working on the coded language, Tint will most likely have like jotted it down and have the ledger, and he can work on that in the morning.
Incredible.
He probably sleeps in till like 1 though, so he might be working on it in the van as his mom is dropping him off.
Incredible. As you're working on this deciphering, you see that the most recent message, the one that was in Dom's phone specifically, there is reference to a planet that is known for its extremes, both like mainly in terms of temperature.
Mm-hmm.
They have insane volcanoes where things can get incredibly hot. They also have like Arctic tundras where things can get incredibly cold. And that is relevant only in that the text continues to mention that they have secured a squadron of warriors from that planet, and whoever this sender is mentions that Dom would find some camaraderie there.
Okay. So I can gather from that if we do have to fight this army, cold and fire damage, probably not our best bets.
At least against that squadron.
Yeah, that one squadron. Okay. Do I find any other texts, or did we find any other texts in his phone, or was it just that one?
Not in Dom's phone, but if
I would have shared it.
Yeah, absolutely. Jaster would have sent you screenshots, or at least somehow let you see in the previous texts that were figured out.
Yeah.
And it has to do with some of those texts were from season 1, so they're not as relevant to the specifics that you guys are trying to stop now. But it references things like softening Sphinx City for their arrival, either creating an army there or figuring out a way that we can transport as much of our army there as fast as possible, if not instantaneous, because once they get into orbit, it's like, oh my god, somebody's coming. It's like the element of surprise. And there is reference to a name. It's definitely not the name of the sender or like a boss. It's like, there's reference of a figure who is joining the cause, referred to as Billy the Bug.
Billy the Bug.
Like Billy the Kid, but Billy the Bug.
And then, is there also enough time for Tint to try and memorize this language so he doesn't have to carry around this ledger?
Go ahead and make a intelligence-based check of some kind. You no longer have exhaustion.
Yay!
Yeah, investigation's fine.
Whoops. I just chucked my dice. Alrighty. 26.
26. Absolutely, you can memorize this alien language. So you can put down that you are now fluent in deep speech.
Okay. Only reading it though, I guess.
Yeah, you can't speak it, I suppose.
Or like if I heard it, I would not pick it up.
Probably not. But I'll like you would pick it up quickly.
Okay.
Hearing it at least. Talking is going to be difficult because it's like one of those things where like the languages are so different. It like your
the
kobold physiology doesn't have the number of vocal cords that's required to make some of the sounds.
Makes sense.
But yeah, you study that language. And that just leaves John. John, is there anything you're doing in the morning?
John's doing the classic suit up, black coffee, getting everything together, dagger in the sock, gun in the holster in the back. He has the tip of a spear, and then when you click the bottom of it, it fully extends out. And then he clicks it again, and it hides back in. Hides that on his hip. He takes the Gatling gun part of the weapon and cuts it down and modifies it to where he can fit his gun inside of the barrels and turn it into like a close range shotgun, like a pump action. Mechanically, it's the same exact magic item, but I just like the idea of he also can turn his pistol into a shotgun.
Why not?
Just flavor.
We love it.
That's
We
it.
love it.
Free.
Flavor is free, folks.
It's free, everybody.
So he takes a whole bunch of that stuff, duffel bag around the shoulder, car keys, and is off to the races.
Amazing. It is the weekend. It is the day of the festival. It begins early, like not too early, but it probably begins around noon. But it goes until like 1 a.m. There's a firework special at the very end. This festival's got it all. I mean, it's got shows, it's got rides and games, it's got food, it's got a whole marketplace of different Fey specialties. Belkor, I mean, obviously there's threat of danger around every corner when in regards to this festival, but it's some authentic food. It's some legit Fey classics.
It's your grandma's meatloaf.
At this place. And it is known as meatloaf for sure.
Yeah.
That being said, we all meet up, but not before. Wait, we go back to Emmis's apartment.
Yeah. Yes.
Emmis unplugs, goes back into a tattoo, and goes, "All right, dude, I got the deets on these two phones and their whereabouts."
Yeah, what have they been up to?
Well, there's a couple places that they seem to be favoriting. For one, it looks like they're a big fan of the spa. They go to the Enigma Resort and Spa a ton. But that, I don't know if that's... I don't know.
For how long? How long are they usually there for?
An hour or two. Twice a week. For the past 6 months. But more than that, you know where they've been recently that actually raises some red flags. Do you remember the Excelsior warehouse?
Yeah.
And Jaster, you would know because that's where you guys had your final fight in season 1. He goes, yeah, they demolished it. Remember all that stuff came out in the news. That Excelsior was planning on casting spells through the freaking television, through Excelsior Prime and stuff. So they demolished that building. And it's like a construction. I forget exactly what they're rebuilding there, but I forget exactly what they're building there, but it's like midway through construction. It's owned by some kind of group called Integrity Financial. Very like dark money financial group, seems to be having their hands in a couple of things. I can't prove it, but it smells like Zusk Burgos. I mean, to name a financial group Integrity he's just a dickhead to do something like that. Right. But these two phones, that whoever they belong to, they've been in that construction site a ton in the past 2 months.
A ton. So multiple hours a day, multiple days. Okay.
Yeah.
Does it look like they're making
AstraZeneca
trips?
place, but they've also been to AstraZeneca.
Okay. Does it look like they've been making trips from their greenhouse to the construction site?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Not like multiple trips in one day necessarily.
Right. I'm just wondering because part of the plan was to raise an undead army. And it seems that they've been doing this through magical dirt. So if there's some kind of connection between them maybe trying to bring this magical dirt to the construction site, or is that maybe where they're getting the dirt from?
Beats me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't. Like I said, it doesn't look like they're making multiple trips. They can only
Right.
be bringing so much dirt in a single trip there and back. But
Right.
they're definitely spending
Okay.
time there
Okay. Well, it's definitely it's
Yeah.
something that I'll pass along and we'll look into.
for sure.
Appreciate all your
And
help.
then past that, it's really just the AstraZeneca main
Okay.
building, like the company building. You know.
Mhm.
You need anything else from me, Jester?
No, I really appreciate all your help.
Sounds
Stay away
good.
from the Fey Festival. There's drugging going on. I know it's not really your bag. It's a lot of people, but just
It
be on
is
the
a
safe
lot of
side.
people. It is a lot of people. I mean, a lot of FaceTime. I could maybe get some shitcoin shares sold or something like that. I just heard about a new one too called Hakalugi. Hakalugi.
Oh God!
That one's supposed to be pretty big.
Don't do it. This one's
I don't know. There's this this influencer who just went viral, and she's the sort of the face of it, and she seems pretty credible from the small amount
yeah.
It's a Hail Mary, man. I'm struggling. He grabs you by the lapels. I'm struggling, dude. I'm in debt up to my eyeballs. You got $10 on you?
Yeah, here you go.
Hell yeah.
I'll slip him a 20.
I really appreciate it, dude. Anyway,
Yeah.
if you know anybody who needs a fucking website built or some shit, let me know.
Okay, will do. All right, man. Well, keep it real. I'm gonna head out and try to stop these assholes from causing even more chaos.
Yeah, good luck, buddy.
And then I take the revolver off the table. It's all done up and ready to go. I've like put little taking the sights and put like little reflective or the little light rods in it to make them high vis sights and stuff on there. And just kind of made sure it was all clean and ready to go. Lit it up. And yeah.
Incredible. And you guys all eventually meet up. Tint might have to get picked up or potentially dropped off, but you guys all meet up.
His mom is dropping him off again. He's doing
incredible.
He's doing this like ledger stuff in the back seat.
Oh, right. As you guys all pull up to the gastronome, the 24-hour diner, and head inside for a table, you're greeted by another one of the servers here, Sylvia, who is a satyr woman who seats you all in a booth and says, all right, well, I'm going to bring over a pot of coffee just in case. And then when you're ready with your drink orders or your orders or whatever, I'll be back in 2 seconds, okay?
Okay.
She rushes off and brings back just like a carafe of coffee and 4 mugs and the little dishes full of creamers and sugars and stuff. What would you guys like to discuss before we head out and go to the next location?
All right. So looks like we're all caught up on possible locations, but I think we should only do like one place before we go to the festival.
Yeah.
The guns.
You want to go to the gun place?
Yeah.
Wouldn't hurt. Well, I mean, it's gonna hurt somebody.
I mean, look, guys. Like, I know I've been handling myself in a fight, but I haven't had to use my my crossbow yet, and this is it. It just holds up. It is made out of office supplies. It is like 2 pencils, like
Is that a
rubber
stapler?
banded together.
It shoots
like-
staplers?
Well, actually, it shoots magic bullets, but like I don't know. It's just like, how would you feel if someone rolled up and was like, "Got ya," and they're just pointing like a rubber band at you?
Right. Yeah. But
Yeah.
Guys.
Could also use a new knife, and I just hold up. It's a scalpel. It's a dissecting. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, let's get you some actual weapons, I think.
Yeah.
Burn them.
You could have messaged me prior, and I had so many things I could have brought beforehand.
Listen, after the oatmeal bath, I just passed out. I woke up like an hour ago. Okay.
Right.
So, Long night.
So I guess we head there, and then after we thwart whatever their plans are at the festival, we have plenty of other
A lot of
options.
leads.
A lot of leads.
A lot of leads.
A lot of leads.
But just keep in mind that once we do this, there's going to be a big target on us and anybody who knows us, because they're going to put 2 and 2 together and realize we thwarted 2 different groups that were associated with them. So
This is 3 or 4 for me.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
Look at you,
Anyone?
overachiever.
Does the Silver Scales by chance have like a safe house? I don't know. My mom's just really not good with confrontation. You should see her at parent teacher conferences. So I'm just kind of worried about her.
Well, we still hired those people to
Oh, right, we did.
monitor our family, and they haven't gotten a message saying anything was wrong. So, but like I said,
Right. Sure.
after today, things are going to change. So just no matter what
Good to be
happens,
aware.
be ready. But I think once we arrive at the festival, I'm going to try to post up on a rooftop probably and keep sights from there. It's going to be my play.
Okay. Me and Stu can kind of work the crowd, see if we see anything suspicious down on the ground.
I can go right to the AstraZeneca booth, the experimental whatever they're doing. No.
Mhm.
Try and
I should
I
probably
got
help
kinda
with
like a mini
conversations.
what do you mean?
No, I can be kind of persuasive.
You can. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
What about me?
No, you'll be there as well to help.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with negotiations.
Okay.
And then
yeah.
I'll go. It's just
Mhm.
in case things go wrong,
Right.
I have a new spell that I've been working on. But it's really big and it's going to need a lot of space, or a lot of
Okay.
people are going to get hurt. So I'd rather
That's it.
cast it on a rooftop first.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Well, I mean, I have my to-go kit of alchemy supplies. So maybe if I can get my hands on something that AstraZeneca's working on, I could figure out what's going on. So at least if we can't prevent it, maybe there's a cure later on.
There we go. I like
Perfect.
the way you're thinking.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
I'll peruse the culinary stands to see if there's something afoot with the food in case they might want to lull the public in a false sense of just loopiness
Mm.
stuff.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, and
once-
if you
How do you
find
poison a bunch of people? How do you poison a bunch of people at a fair?
exactly,
Through
exactly.
food.
Funnel cake.
Funnel
But if
cake.
you
They put
Yeah.
dirt in every single
Goddamn
dish.
corn dogs.
That's not powdered sugar on that funnel cake, my friend.
Sweet and low.
Cocaine.
Okay.
It's at this point that Sylvia walks back over with your orders, assuming people ordered things and stuff. Sees Tint's homemade crossbow and just kind of sees it and smiles and goes, "Oh yeah, my son's got a science fair today too. That's crazy. He did the
Yeah.
planets. He did the planet thing.
Oh.
So that's fun. What
Okay,
is this
well,
supposed to
he's-
be?
It's a replica of a historically accurate crossbow made out of office supplies.
Oh,
Doesn't work. Completely harmless, I promise.
Incredible. Yeah, no, I wasn't scared.
good,
Amazing.
yeah.
I love that for you. Okay,
Thank-
well, good
thank-
luck.
Thank you.
We're going to go get 10 a Glock.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Someone who's
Speaking
never had
of which-
firearm safety training.
Just something that's going to require 2 hands to
Listen.
hang on to.
Only pointed at something you want to go
Hand
away.
cannon.
You understand?
Yeah, I got that.
Coming
I
out.
haven't
Please keep your
taken
finger off the trigger.
I haven't taken firearm safety, but I've taken lab safety. So those got to be
Mhm.
similar, right?
In that you assume that everything about it is completely and horribly dangerous. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Proper eyewear also
Yes.
very important. Tint definitely has his goggles. inside.
Amazing. And after an incredible meal, you pay Sylvia and give her a 20% tip because you're upstanding,
At
incredible
least.
citizens of
At
Sphinx
least.
City,
I think I got 25.
helping your community.
Yeah.
Even better. And you guys head off to Little Feywild to go to Garibaldi the gunsmith, who operates her arms dealing out of a gelato shop. You approach, you've done this before, you ask for the blood orange. They say, oh, there's more in the back. They bring you into the back. You pass through the kitchen area until eventually going through a intense steel locked door until you find yourself in a smoky, like, lounge area almost. There's like music playing, and you just see a huge array of firearms up on the walls lit up from below. And you see Garibaldi herself, human, probably in her 60s, later 60s. She has almost like a bowl cut, looks like a beetle with her hair, wearing a velour track jumpsuit, and sees you all. And out of everybody here, who either through us playing or through characters, do you think has done business with Garibaldi the gunsmith before? Jaster, Belkor, probably John as well.
Definitely.
Incredible. So you recognize her. She sees the three of you at least, and Tint as well, but doesn't recognize Tint, and says, oh, look, the warriors are coming in. Okay, all right, little business. Fantastic. How can I help you all, gentlemen, today? We do have some incredible specials. We also have a visitor, dear friend of mine, former mentee, Ma the Maniac, is here with some of her goods. And you see almost like, have you ever been into a store? This happens at dispensaries all the time, where you go in and there's like a vendor, like, so, or like, I don't drink anymore, but in a liquor store you go in and there's like a vendor who's like, hey, do you like rum? Yeah. You've never tried this. It's got coconut, believe it or not. And you're like, okay, bud, get out of here.
I'll take the shot. I'll take the shot.
Yeah,
I'll take the shot.
That's how this is set up. There's just a table that has like a tablecloth over it, and you see a half elven woman. She has on a t-shirt that has a rat eating a piece of pizza. The piece of pizza has a top hat and a monocle, and the shirt says "Eat the Rich." And she has in front of her, just like you would at a garage sale or something like that, has a ton of weapons in front of her with paper price tags attached to them. And she's like just finishing with a different customer. Is there anything in particular that you all are looking for individually? Are you looking for crazy weapons? Are you looking for armor? Are you looking for gadgets? What's the vibes?
In introducing us, I kind of want to just like try to sweeten things up and be like, we're here for guns, lots of guns. Everything top shelf that you possibly have to offer, and the ones that you don't offer anyone. I come with 2 gifts, and I hand her the chainsaw and the blade part, and then I also hand her a few of the gold coins.
Okay, very cool.
The Interconfidential.
She sees the chainsaw and chuckles a little bit to herself and goes, all right, hell yeah, I can use this. I can make something with this chainsaw that cuts space and time. We'll figure it out. Takes it, puts it underneath the table, then sees the gold coins, and her expression changes a little bit. She's a little surprised, but not like oh my god, like taken aback, you know? She's just like, oh shit, an assassin is here. Wow. Like that kind of, you know?
Yeah.
And she looks at them and goes, all right, hell yeah. Well, if you're looking for out of the box sort of thinking, then you found the right place. Do you have any preferences? Are you looking to get close, far away? You're looking for a ton of damage, interesting effects. I have a little bit of everything here. We even have some melee weapons. She pulls out, does like a QVC sort of display arm. Shows you. There's just a gnarly ass looking tribal dagger that looks like it's made out of the bottom jaw of a coyote.
Okay.
She goes, yeah, this one here, I call this one Cain, the origin of murder. Yeah, it's Bad News Bears.
A lot of history. Interesting. I was looking something along this build, and I pull out my wand of the War Mage, and I'm like, I need something like this. Firearm designed as an arcane unit, being able to transfer elementals. Design, specifically rifle, staff modified into a rifle. Whatever staff you have available.
I understand. Okay. So we're looking for an arcane rifle that can channel your spell energy into a distant target. Is that kind of the gist?
Yeah.
All right.
Mechanically also known as Justice Staff.
No doubt. I can certainly do that for you.
But much more flavorful.
Naturally. She pulls out from underneath a massive black rifle case, clicks a bunch of things, turns it around, opens it up so that it is like facing you. You see two rifles inside. One of them looks fucking crazy. It looks like the skin of a chicken with mismatched plucked feathers, sort of like parts of it are just skin and parts of it are feathers and stuff like that. The muzzle is like a beak and it has a small sight on it, but it has, in terms of like the size of the barrel and everything like that, it almost looks a little bit more like a musket. And then the second one that she shows you,
like a lever, like the bolt action on the lever.
It's intense. Yeah. And then the next one that she shows you is bright white, pink, and red is the coloration on this one. It has iconography and sort of decorations on it that make it look both regal and romantic. All of the metal accents, like the sights, the actual trigger guard and the trigger itself, the muzzle are done in what almost looks like 24 karat gold. Obviously it's not because it would melt, but it's like bright gold. And she says to you, so the freaky bird looking one is the cockatrice cannon. It'll work exactly as you want it to work. It'll be able to cast spells through it at a distance and everything like that. Everything that your normal quarterstaff would be able to do. In addition to that, you could shoot cockatrices out of it. So just shoot a magical chicken that could potentially make people go blind. So it can do that. You can only have one at a time.
Right.
That's kind of the downside. But you can just fire cockatrices whenever you want. So there's that one. But it looks terrible. The next one is called Cupid's Bow. Obviously, it's a gun. But we're playing with the thematics here. So this one's pretty sick. I mean, it's a +1. And it's got a couple of charges in it where you could potentially, from a distance, enchant some people using those charges.
While I ponder on my decision, I'll let my comrades go through and take a look at your inventory as well.
Absolutely. Who would like to go next?
I was going to say, we need something for the kid. Show them your crossbow.
Pulls out his office supply crossbow. That's it on the desk.
All right, interesting.
Mm-hmm. It does pretty
Well,
good damage.
I want to believe that. Let me see what I got
I'll
for
shoot you with it.
I hope you don't.
All right, I guess we're rolling for initiative in here.
Oh, man.
If we beat them, do we get all the guns?
Well, kiddo, I got a couple of options for you. I guess it really depends on how big of a risk you're willing to take. So I have this one here, and she pulls out what looks like the most insane looking hand cannon you've ever seen. Just like a Desert Eagle on steroids, just puts that down. It's got that, like, on the top of the barrel, it's got that like the back of a Bowie knife, how it has those like jagged things that you can cut rope with. It has that on the top of the gun. Just looks so gnarly. Has like a laser on it, a sight, like unnecessary, just this massive hand cannon. She puts that down and goes, this one's called the kill shot. If you're willing to put a little bit of your life force into it, it can do a ton extra damage. But obviously you can only do that for so long. And then I'll also throw down this guy here, throws down a really intense looking pistol that has a hinge in the middle of it. And so she demonstrates it, that the way the hinge works, that when she's holding the gun and she just kind of moves her wrist like this, the barrel flip-flops. And she goes, this one's called the bodega because you can shoot around a corner. And then a little pricier, but I mean, you guys have the coins, you're good for it. I have this. I mean, I don't know if this is your bag. And pulls out what almost looks like a grenade launcher and clunks it down on the table.
Sold.
You see that it's got a ton of artwork on it, almost like graffiti and stuff like that. All of the graffiti and the artwork on the sides of this insane cannon looking thing are depictions of hands. Like hands drawing other hands, drawing other hands, just like all around this. Like a skin in a video game. And she says, this one's the handsy cannon. So it operates either as like kind of a grappling hook. You could, you know, those like sticky hands that you find in gumball machines? That's what it shoots. So you could either use it as a grappling hook, 60-foot range, bow, grapple yourself right up to something. If you're real strong, or if John was using it, so then you could stick it to somebody. You could stick it to your target and try and pull them towards you. Or you could just punch them at a distance. You could do a fist shot and just punch them at a distance. So you got the bodega, the handsy, and the kill shot.
The kill shot. Honestly, give me the handsy.
Hell yeah. Awesome. She hands you over the handsy, this massive, it's like a two-handed, looks like a grenade launcher, but
when this sticky hand gets shot out for this fist hit, is there any way to equip the fist with something before it gets shot out?
Ooh, it does shoot out almost instantaneously because it's a gun.
That's fair.
What were you trying to attach to it? Or you were trying to put a weapon in its hand or something?
Basically like a potion or like an acid splash, so that when it like punches, it like explodes.
Interesting. I think you could get creative with it, and like if let's say Jaster was holding a bottle of acid, you could shoot the hand at it and pull it back to you and maybe get creative with that way. But I don't think in the time from you clicking the trigger, I don't think you could hit it. But
okay,
you could definitely get creative with how you figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah. So it would use your normal crossbow stuff. We'll add a +1 to it. And but the grappling hook part of it is 60 feet. Everything else is normal crossbow stuff.
Okay.
Incredible. Obviously, if you pull someone towards you, it depends on like size differentials because that's
Say
going
with
to
my
incorporate weight,
10
strength checks. It's going to be a whole thing. Yeah.
my
Um,
10 in strength, I don't think we're doing that often.
yeah. And so Mar the Maniac looks at you, Jaster and Belkor, and says, "All right, kids souped up a little bit. What about you two gentlemen?"
So we've seen the weapons. Is there any armor?
Yeah, I'd like something maybe that's not actual armor, like something like a bracers or a cloak or something like that.
I got you. Yeah, you're trying to stay mobile, but you want some
Mhm.
extra protection. Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. For sure. We can definitely figure something out. I got this here. Justin trying to think of the most insane things. I got this here, Cloak of the Pigeon.
Okay.
Cloak of the Pigeon here. That'll get you a +1 TAC. And it also gives you the message cantrip. Because pigeons carry messages.
Right. Okay.
And if you fall, once a day, it'll give you Featherfall.
Okay.
If you're so inclined to sort of glide down rather than fall. She looks at you, Belkor, and says, Belkor, you looking for some kind of armor? Is there any kind of classifications? You looking for heavy armor, medium armor, light armor? Armor
Well,
that
if
does something
anything,
interesting or what?
I'll take either one. However, a passive ability would be preferable.
Belkor, they are going to give you a set of armor. She hands you a watch. She breaks out this like really nice looking case and she opens it up and you're seeing this beautiful watch in front of you. And she says, this is called a G-Shock. G-Shock armor. So what happens is you just click this button here and she sort of puts the watch on you and clicks a button on the side and you see nanobots flood out of the face of the watch and cover your body Iron Man style, but instead of like Iron Man armor, it is just a thin coat of like elven chain. And so what I'm going to say is you get a and I'm doing this because in my opinion Belkor's armor AC is quite low compared to everybody else's. So I'm going to say you get a +2 to your AC with this. In addition, you don't have to worry about disadvantage on dexterity on stealth checks or anything. Just because Belkor's rocking a 14 and everybody else is much higher. So it's like,
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Even it out a little bit.
How are you still alive after all those hits you took?
I was under 10 last battle.
Rough. But yeah, you have this nice little watch that can turn into armor and stuff like that. She also would show you that it has a feature where if for whatever reason you take lightning damage, if you hit with your next attack, half of the damage you take you can give back out. So it like the shock part of the G-Shock sort of absorbs electrical energy and you can give it back out. So sort of like an absorb elements built into it, but only for lightning damage. So it doesn't use a spell slot, doesn't even use a reaction, but it can only be lightning damage. So because it's so circumstantial, we're just going to say it doesn't need any actions or anything. Because for all I know, Justin will forget that I gave you this and lightning damage won't happen between now and the end of the show. But okay, so we have the Cloak of the Pigeon, we have the G-Shock watch, we have the Handsy cannon, and John Smith choosing between Cupid's bow and the Cockatrice cannon.
What are all the spells on the Cupid's bow?
It has 5 abilities that you can burn charges on it. 4 of them are spells. 1 of them actually enhances those spells. All 5, you can hit a dominate person. 3 charges, calm emotions. 2 charges, charm person. 1 charge, friends. And for 2 charges, you can make it. Oh, God.
Oh.
Ignore that. This is so serious.
This is so serious.
For 2 charges, you get an ability called Extra Allure, where if the creature you're targeting has immunity to being charmed, now they have resistance, so they get advantage on the save. If they have resistance to being charmed, like Fey ancestry or something, now they don't. So it makes you're better at charming things than normally you would be. The same way that like Elemental Adept can kind of shift over your damage types for something that's like resistant to fire. It's like, no, not anymore, you're not. And it does that with charm stuff.
Nah, I'll go with the infinite cockatrices.
Hell yeah.
Infinite cockatrices.
If it had command, that'd be different. But no, I'll take the infinite cockatrices.
Command wouldn't go in line with the idea of Cupid and falling in love, I feel like. The other ones, charm person, calm emotion. Dominate person actually is pretty fucking dark. But command is... I command you to love me. Incredible.
Yeah, I'll
so you get the cockatrice cannon.
My chicken M16.
Yeah. Intense. Inspired by the first-person shooter South Park game where you could shoot cows with a cow cannon. That's where this comes from. Except it's cockatrices. And you guys are all successful. I'm going to throw in for funsies.
Quick
just
question.
for funsies. Yes, go for your question.
Do I have to concentrate on the summoned cockatrice?
No. It lasts 5 minutes or until it hits 0.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Say less.
Say less.
You'll regret that.
It takes an action to summon it, but I mean, once you have it, you have it.
I got plans. And the haters will try to sabotage me.
I'm foreseeing a dragon breathing cockatrice in my near future. With some other shit probably thrown in. Okay, cool. Here's also what I'm just going to throw in for funsies because I think it's interesting and I want to see what you guys do with them. She's going to throw in a healing grenade. It heals everybody in a 5-foot radius. So you pick a point, everybody 5 feet around that point, including the point, gets healed like a common healing potion, 2d4 plus 2. Downside is it could potentially also heal enemies, but healing grenade, 20-foot range on that. And she is also going to give you a sonar grenade. She is also going to give you a sonar grenade. Same 20-foot distance. When it hits the floor or wall or whatever, it opens up, a tiny motor pops out. This motor turns into a tiny satellite dish, and pretty much any warm-blooded creature within a certain range of it just like flashes for you. So very much like a weapon in most Call of Duty games. Sonar thing, it's exactly like that.
But make it magic.
But it is technology and a touch of magic.
Is this like a fairy fire type effect, or
no? It just is. It lets you see through walls for a short amount of time.
Okay.
If they're close to the wall, so it's just like if there was like a corner and you're like, I wonder if anyone's around that corner. You could throw it and it'll like pop off, and like for a quick second you could see the enemy, like through walls and even stuff.
You said range is 20 feet, but what is detect?
It's a. We'll keep it in the 20-foot range so that it's 20s across the board and easy to remember. So 20-foot range, both for throwing and then for the pop off.
Yep.
So, you guys pack up all of your stuff, and I assume from here begin to head out towards the Fey Festival.
Yeah.
Yes.
In Midling Park. Everyone hops into John's car.
Real quick before we get in the car, I just go summon a cockatrice.
Amazing. You point kind of down to the ground, summon a cockatrice. It loses a hit point because it hits the ground so fast. So you pointed it too far down. And just a naked astral looking chicken bird just slams into the ground, skids a little bit, and just brushes itself off and blinks weird and looks around and it's just
Can I take out my handsy gun? And I want to see if I use the it's not the grappling. If I grab the cockatrice, can I with the gun fling it?
you want to grab it with your grappling hook and then continue the momentum and try and fling it.
Yes, this is my experiment on.
Amazing.
Are you gonna let me use the gun in this way?
Go ahead and roll an attack roll to see if you can hit the cockatrice. It has an AC of 11.
I believe I do. Yes, 16.
Okay, you successfully a massive green, flubber green, sticky hand fires out of this cannon and just slaps onto the side of this cockatrice, making a very intense slap. Start pulling the cockatrice towards you. I'm gonna say, give me where are you trying to fling it to?
As far as I can.
As far as you can. I'm going to need.
I'm guessing kind of right. Tint understands basic physics, so he's gonna try and kind of whip it in a circle.
Oof. I'm gonna need an acrobatics or a sleight of hand check or some kind of. Feel free to look at your other skills and be like, this one makes sense to me, and I'm down to hear your case before this court of law, because I can't imagine what this is gonna be. Because you're gonna have to time when the stickiness wears off, and play with the momentum in such a way. It's made to bring things together, not to throw things away. So it's I
feel like that's physics, so it could be investigation, but I will also settle for sleight of hand.
Okay, let's do sleight of hand then.
Okay. 18.
18, incredible. Yeah, you managed to successfully fling this cockatrice down the street. Can you roll a d20 for me? Just flat.
Oops, it's cocked.
Honor the cock.
7. Honor the cock.
7. Okay, incredible. It hits a person.
Go, guys, go.
It bites that person.
Wait, but it's under my control. Hold on.
It was flung. There's parts of it that it's going to defend itself.
On instinct, it's gonna bite.
The person makes the saving throw. They are not petrified. It rushes back to John's side. It cuddles up next to you, John, rubbing against your leg like a cat.
I give it scritches.
Scritches.
I guess it isn't too bad.
And you hear for the first time as it speaks to you and says, in your mind, telepathically, I'm inventing this on the spot. Now this gun summons telepathic cockatrices. You hear in your mind as it says, well, hello there. It is an absolute pleasure to meet you. My name is Cranston, and I look forward to doing business with you.
Cranston, likewise. I bet you can hear it from my heart, but I technically have somewhat of a reptilian heart as well, so I think we'll get along just fine.
Smashing. Incredible. Well, let's get to it, old boy.
Right.
Matt Berry.
John, why are you just
amazing.
staring at your bird?
What? Nothing. It's fine. We're having a ancient draconic ancestral link.
Right.
Thing.
Right, because birds and dragons, they gotta.
Because they have. Because he's part lizard, so. And which is reptilian and draconic and reptilian. It gets a little weird because some people are like, what happened first? Evolution or magic with the dragon. It becomes a whole thing.
Yeah, okay.
Leave it for the philosophy majors.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't
coming
me.
in big this episode.
Philosophy majors.
As we leave this area, cockatrice in tow, with our new weapons and devices and all these different things on us, we head to Midling Park, where as eventually John finds parking in a nearby neighborhood very difficult, especially with all of the traffic and just the hustle and bustle of this festival. It is large, maybe even larger than you would think. Tons of stuff here. Belkor immediately dashes away as he sees millions of food stands with all these incredible, authentic Fey options. And you see that there are shows, there are stores. There's a store selling these incredible painted, to use real world logic, Venetian looking masks. Like these incredible, some of them have like long beak noses. Some of them are shaped like different animals, just painted beautifully. Then you also see a store that specializes in all types of olives called Olive Forever. And there are living statues, like people painted like statues who are holding still and kind of scaring kids every once in a while or posing for pictures. There are acrobats that are sort of dancing around. There's like a large schedule posted of different events that are going to be taking place. Like the opera is going to be held tonight. You see pretty shortly in the next like 30 minutes to an hour is a gladiator fight that is supposed to be both educational and entertaining. And there are all kinds of rides as well. There's a Ferris wheel, a river of love that seems to have been constructed. Different like stands that have pasta. There's limoncello shots. What's that, man? Oh my gosh.
We'll just take a short rest until it's done.
Yeah. All kinds of stuff here. You see a very imposing looking ride that seems to, it's shaped like an oval, or at least the track of it is. Then there's individual cars. The individual cars spin and go in circles.
That's the zipper.
As the whole thing goes around, as you see a big sign that says the zipper.
Yes!
And so our heroes find themselves at the Fey Festival in Midling Park of Sphinx City. There are stores and shops and all this kinds of crazy stuff going on. Will they be able to find the booth, tent, whatever, that is peddling this super soldier serum on these unsuspecting friends and citizens of Sphinx City? Tune in next time to find out. But let's do our quick outros, because that is the end of this episode of Sphinx City. I'm Justin. I've been your Dungeon Master. Link in the description for all things So You Want to Be a DM, including merch, TikTok, other socials, podcast, Twitch, you name it. You can find it all on the link tree. And I've had an absolute blast. And I've destroyed most of the alphabetical order as I've inserted myself. J, no longer the 10th letter, now moved up. Get out of here, A. I don't think so. J is here at the front of the line. But let's move over to D.
I'm Dale. I played Belkor Ironbelly, who's still finding somehow just tiny bits and pieces of wood just stuck in the skin, like a little on like the clothing, even in his shoes. Like, I mean, what's up with that?
Hello, everyone. It's Daniel, aka Daniel the DM, across all corners of the internet. And golly gee, gang, what an episode! One heck of a time. All right, I think it was our best one yet. You know what I mean? But yeah, look forward to the next episode. Super excited. It was so fun to be back playing as John yet again.
I'm Molly Adeza. You can find me all across the internet. Molly Adeza, including my website, where you can find signed copies of my debut novel, The Revenant's Bargain. And I have had an exhausting time playing Tint, the little, I think I always forget to actually say what he is. He's a kobold artificer. I think I just go right into the fact that he's just doing his best out here, guys. He's trying so hard.
And I'm Taylor. I work with Justin on So You Want to Be a DM stuff. They said everything that needed to be said about it up at the top. Don't forget to check out the merch. Check out all the links below. Come check us out on the podcast. I think that's it.
See you next week, gang.
Yeah. Bye.